The night was heavy. A silence deeper than death hovered over Babylon. Inside the heart of a pagan empire, torches flickered, shadows danced, and the roar of lions echoed through the stone corridors. But in one chamber, down in the darkness of a pit, stood a man whose faith would silence the beasts of hell itself. His name was Daniel. He was not a warrior, not a king, not a conqueror. He was a man of prayer, a man who refused to bow before any god but the God of heaven. And tonight, the heavens themselves were watching. The decree had been signed. The trap had been set. The jealous hearts of Babylon's nobles had found a way to destroy him. But they didn't understand. You cannot destroy a man who walks with God. You can throw him to lions, but you cannot touch a soul that heaven protects. As Daniel was dragged through the palace corridors, chains rattled, the guards sneered. They mocked the prophet who prayed 3 times a day. "Where is your God now?" they laughed. But Daniel's eyes were calm. He looked beyond the mockery, beyond the walls, beyond the fear, to the throne of the Eternal. He whispered softly, "Even in the den, my God is with me." And with that, they threw him into the darkness. The stone rolled across the mouth of the pit. Torches faded. The sound of metal scraping against stone sealed his fate. The lions stirred. Eyes of fire glowed in the shadows. Their breath was hot, their hunger ancient. But heaven was already moving, because faith moves God. In the courts of eternity, the angels watched. One stepped forward, a mighty being of light whose wings shimmered with divine fire. His voice thundered, "Permission to descend, my Lord." And the Almighty spoke, "Go," and shut their mouths. In an instant, the veil between worlds tore open. The angel descended like lightning, unseen by mortal eyes. As his feet touched the dust of the pit, the lions froze. Their roars turned to silence, their hunger dissolved into peace. Daniel knelt in the darkness and whispered, "I know you are here." The angel stood behind him, radiant yet invisible, and the lions, creatures of terror, laid down beside the prophet as if they were lambs before their shepherd. That night, Babylon did not sleep. The king, Darius, paced his chambers, tormented by guilt. He had been tricked into condemning the one man he knew was righteous. No music played, no food touched his lips. He waited for dawn with a trembling heart. When the first light of morning broke, he ran to the pit. His royal robes dragged through the dust, his breath sharp with fear. And as the stone was rolled away, he shouted, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God been able to rescue you from the lions?" Then came the voice, calm, steady, eternal. "O King, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight." The king fell to his knees, tears filling his eyes. He had seen kings fall and empires burn, but never had he seen faith conquer death. The pit was opened. Daniel was lifted out. No wound upon him, no mark of fear, because when God is your defender, no weapon forged against you can stand, and those who had plotted his destruction were thrown into the same pit. The lions roared once more, but this time there was no angel to silence them. Judgment had come. From that day, the decree of Darius changed the world. "I issue a command," he declared, "that in every part of my kingdom people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and his kingdom will never be destroyed." The story of the lion's den became more than history. It became a prophecy, because the lions were not just beasts of flesh. They were the symbols of every power that rises against God's people. Every mouth that roars against the righteous, every system that seeks to silence truth. But just as he did in Babylon, God still shuts the mouths of lions today. When the world tries to devour you with lies, he silences them. When fear tries to consume you, he commands it to be still. When the enemy surrounds you, he stands beside you in the darkness. Faith is not the absence of danger. Faith is the presence of God in the middle of it. Daniel didn't survive because he was strong. He survived because he trusted. And when you trust in the living God, the very things that were meant to destroy you become the testimony that saves others. Listen carefully. There is a roar rising again in our generation. It is the roar of pride, deception, and rebellion. The world mocks faith. It mocks truth. It mocks holiness. But God is not silent. He is preparing his Daniels, men and women who will kneel when others bow to idols, who will pray when others remain silent, who will stand firm even if that means descending into the den to prove that heaven still rules. You see, Daniel's story is not just ancient history, it's a reflection of our own time. Every believer today faces the same lions: fear, compromise, persecution, temptation. But the same God who shut their mouths still reigns. The same angel that stood with Daniel still defends the faithful. And one day soon, when the final roar of evil rises across the earth, the Lion of Judah himself will descend and silence every voice that ever opposed him. Until that day comes, stand firm, pray without fear, walk without compromise. And when the darkness closes in around you, remember Daniel's words, "My God sent his angel." Because he still does. Even now, in this very moment, he is sending angels into the pits of despair, into the dens of addiction, into the darkness of hopelessness, to stand beside his people, to shut the mouths of lions. And when morning comes, and it will, the stone will be rolled away. The king will call your name, and the world will see that the God who saved Daniel still saves today. For his power is not bound by time, his love is not limited by circumstance, and his kingdom will never be destroyed. If this message touched you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content that strengthens your faith. Thank you for watching, and may you walk in his peace.